Hi, Ms. Bridgewater. How are you today?
I'm doing great, Judge. How are you?
I'm doing great also. Good to see you.
Good. Well, hello, everybody else.
Yes, good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, Judge.
Let's see, courtroom 2, whenever you're ready, just let us know.
We're ready, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Bridgewater, when is the SAP reset date, please?
August the 15th.
Thank you.
Your Honor, this is position 12. Ms. Guillory.
Yes, good afternoon, Ms. Gilroy. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state court expedited accusation calendar that we're conducting by video to help prevent the spread of the virus. Do you agree to have your case heard by video? You have to answer a little louder for me, Ms. Guillory. Thank you. You've been charged in case 23 CR 004708Y with battery family violence. Good afternoon, Ms. Roberts. Is there a history?
Good afternoon. 3 cycles. The last arrest was from 1998 for fugitive from justice. That case was dismissed and nothing further.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Pilon, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Judge. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. I hope you are as well.
I am. Judge, in this case, officers responded to a domestic call. When they arrived, the defendant admitted to hitting the victim in the head and admitted to initiating the physical altercation. In light of the facts and the history, we're asking for a $3,000 surety bond. No further contact with the victim, whose name is Elisha Guillory, and a stay away order from the incident address, which is 18 Cedar Run. I don't believe the victim is on, but I would like to sound for her, Judge.
And that's Elijah?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, if Elijah Guillory is on the line and wishes to address the court, now is your opportunity to do so. Does not appear so. Ms. Kim, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. My client is actually 50 years old, and Your Honor, she is not employed, and because of her disability, she has a very serious chronic disease. She really needs to go and get medical attention. She has been not getting her medicine for the last 2 days, and it's very crucial for her because she's very she can be her immunity is not strong enough, so I'm just really afraid that she's going to catch any kind of like disease, further complicated disease because of her condition right now. So we would like to request for a signature on bond. Your Honor, 18 Cedar Run is the apartment they have lived together. It's mother and daughter. They have been basically living together because a daughter is taking care of a mother who's very, very sick. So my client wants to have a note for the violent contact, and we would like to have that. She's been here in Georgia for 3 years, and she just got out of the hospital not that long ago. So she does need to get back and take care of her body. Thank you.
Have you spoken with the daughter, Ms. Kim or Mr. Pilon?
Judge, our office made multiple attempts, but we were not able to get a hold of her.
Me either.
How old is the daughter?
32 years old, Your Honor.
I believe that's correct, sir.
Okay. It's going to be a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial per the judge. 1-day anger awareness. Given that this is mother and daughter and what you've told me, Ms. Kim, I'm going to give Ms. Guillory the opportunity to go back home. There's to be no further violent contact and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. Ms. Guillory, I'm giving you the opportunity to get out and sign your own bond. And because of your history, I'm allowing you to be around your daughter. But if there's anything that goes on like this in the future, then this bond will be revoked. Do you understand what I'm saying? And I'm sorry, ma'am, I can't hear you.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Good luck to you, ma'am.
Your Honor, add one calendar,
I'm ready now, man.
Ms. Jackson. Position-
Okay,
Hey, Judge Morrow.
hey, good afternoon, Officer Norris. I hope you're well.
Wonderful, sir. I'm wonderful.
Excellent. Glad to hear it.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Jackson, good afternoon. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we're conducting by video. You agree to have your case heard by video? Thank you. You've been charged in case 23 CR 004709Y with criminal trespass. Is there a history, Ms. Roberts?
29 cycles, last arrest 2017 for a criminal trespass and failure to appear. 2014 conviction for theft by shoplifting. 2013 conviction for criminal trespass and theft by shoplifting. 2002 given false name. In 1997 battery and aggravated assault. And nothing further.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Ms. Tucker.
Good afternoon. In this case, we would be asking for a $1,500 good bond. You did hear her history. She has a history of criminal trespass, and this incident occurred at 1450 Donnelly Avenue in Atlanta, where there are, quite a few gas stations around. And while, she said, oh, I'm allowed to be here, there was a prior incident with the same officer, another criminal trespass from February 13th of 2023, in what she was explicitly told she was not to come back or she would go to jail. And that's what happened here. So based on her recurrence of criminal trespass, we do think there's a risk of reoffense. We would ask for that $1,500 good bond. Oh,
I'm sorry, and go ahead, Ms. Tucker.
Stay away, excuse me, and a stay away from the incident location.
And what gas station is that? Do you know, Ms. Tucker?
I know that there is a Circle K and a BP gas station. It said right in that area.
Was she criminal trespass from both the Circle K and the BP?
Yes, so from that location, that 1450, I guess I can Google and see exactly what's there, but the report noted both gas stations.
Okay, I just want to make sure that she knows where she's not supposed to go back to. So, the Circle K and the BP gas station.
They both come up under that address.
Okay, can you unmute courtroom 2, please? Ms. Jackson, you know you can't go back to this Circle K and this BP. Do you understand that? Okay, if I let you out, please don't go back. If you go back, you're going to be put right back in, and I am not going to give you a signature bond next time, okay? So stay away from that Circle K and that BP gas station. So it's going to be it's going to be a $2,000 signature bond through the jail. Stay away from the Circle K and the BP on Donnelly Parkway, 1450, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons. Okay, don't disappoint me, Ms. Jackson, okay? All right. Good luck to you.
Thank
ma'am.
you.
Your Honor, give me 1 second. Hey, fellas, if I hear you talking during the court, you will be reset. I will let the judge know that you're being unruly in the courtroom. Do not talk during court. Sorry, Your Honor.
No, you're fine. And I see that Madam Interpreter's on the line. Good afternoon, Ms. Chansey. So
Good afternoon.
whenever we can help her, let her help us, let me know.
Yes, sir. Position 5, Ms. Brown.
Yes, good afternoon, Ms. Brown. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Sure, no problem.
Thank you. Ms. Sanaflex, I have a number of cases that you have requested that we have a breakout room for. Is this Ms. Brown one of them?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Courtroom 2, I have 5 cases that are breakout rooms requested for. Do you want me to do the breakout rooms first, or do you want me to see if we can get through some more people first?
We can go through the calendar and, you said 5?
That's what I'm being told by Ms. Sanflex. If you'll look in the chat, we have Beasley, Chambers, Brown, another Beasley, and a Bates.
It should only be one Beasley, Judge. I think I
Yes.
probably did that twice.
Okay, so Beasley, Chambers, Brown, and Bates, it looks like she's requesting a breakout room for. So could we, I guess, take somebody that's not one of those people? Did we lose the jail?
Look like we did, Judge.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Grace. Good afternoon.
How are you, Judge?
I'm doing well, thank you. A little hot, but besides
Yes.
that.
I think we all are there.
I'm wearing a robe.
I was gonna say that polyester doesn't breathe, does it, Judge?
Not at all. Okay, we'll be in recess until the jail comes back on. I apologize. Since the jail's not here, can we do those cases in the breakout room now? Is that possible? We're not going to require the jail, so can we just go into the breakout room with those 4 cases? Is that
Ms.
fine
Brown
with
is
you?
mine, and I don't oppose that, Judge.
That's
Okay.
fine with me, Judge.
All right, and Ms. Tucker, are you with us?
Yes, Judge, I'm here.
Oh, okay, so we'll just all go into the breakout room and discuss those 4 cases so that we don't waste any time. Ms. Kim?
So they are coming on now, Judge, you still.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I just didn't want to waste time. so,
exactly. They're coming
thank
on
you.
right now.
Okay, courtroom 2, we see that you're back. You're muted though for us. We were going to take the people that needed a breakout room at the end of the calendar. Is that what you all would like us to do?
Yes, please.
Okay, so I've given you those names. So can we, and Miss Brown is one of them. So can we have the next person, please?
Yes,
So what's gonna happen to me?
ma'am. Just
You-
let you know.
Okay.
Position 3. Mr. Brugron.
Good afternoon, Mr. Brugman. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yeah, that's fine.
Thank you. You've been charged in case 23 CR 004699J with simple battery. Is there a history, Ms. Roberts?
3 cycles, 1 out of California, 2 out of Florida. Last arrest was out of California from February of this year for carrying a loaded firearm in public and a concealed weapon. And that case appears to be open out of California. Nothing further.
Okay, Mr. Pilon?
Yes, Judge, in this matter, the victim stopped to help a friend who had been in a motor vehicle accident, and he said that when he did, he was jumped by several men. Some bystanders were able to break up the fight, but the victim was able to identify the defendant as one of the men who beat him. Judge, in addition to that, the victim alleged that the defendant threatened to shoot him, and when officers arrested the defendant, they did in fact find a gun on him. So in light of that fact, and in light of the California judge's charges, we're asking for a $10,000 surety bond, no further contact, stay away, and no alcohol, drugs, or weapons.
Who's the alleged victim, the name?
Elijah Watkins. We did attempt contact, but didn't get him, Judge.
And where would you like him to stay away from?
Show it as 3899 Butner Road. If that's in South Fulton. And I believe that's just a gas station, Judge, so that shouldn't be an issue to comply with.
Okay. Let's see if Mr. Watkins is on the line and wishes to address the court. Now is your opportunity. It doesn't appear that he's with us this afternoon. Yes, Ms. Santaflex, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Judge. My client states that he did not begin the altercation. He denied the charges and states that the person who's the alleged victim in this case is the initial aggressor. Mr. Bubron works from self-employed home. He does marketing. He graduated high school. Judge, we are asking, we understand that he has the California charge, but we have no real reason to believe that he won't appear back in court. He does also have family, mother, sister, and brother that he lives with. And so we're asking the court to give him a $10,000 bond based on the income that I spoke to him about. He would not be able to reasonably pay. But we would just ask the court for a signature bond. If the court is not inclined to do a signature bond, we would ask for no more than a $2,000 surety bond.
That's going to be a $4,000 surety bond, no further contact with Mr. Watkins, stay away from the 3899 Butler Road address, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, sir.
You know, and then what was that signature bond?
No, it's a good bond, $4,000 good bond.
4,000? Position 4, Mr. Brooks. That's the only charge now?
Good afternoon, Mr. Brooks. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we're conducting by video. You agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Brooks, you've been charged in case 23 CR 004700C with battery. Is there a history, Ms. Roberts?
11 cycles. Last arrest was September of 2022 out of Douglas County for failure to appear. Appears to be on misdemeanor probation out of Douglas County for marijuana possession less than an ounce. From October of 2022, 11 months, 20 days probation. A criminal trespass conviction in 2021, and nothing further.
Mr. Pilon?
Judge, in this matter, officers responded to a domestic call. The victim advised that she was in the car with her boyfriend, the defendant, and had a disagreement, and the defendant struck her in the head and stomach multiple times.
I'm sorry, Mr. Pilon, I'm so sorry.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Santaflex, was this one that was on your list?
No, Judge.
Okay, but there is a Brown listed.
His name is Brooks, Judge.
Correct, Judge. This is
Oh,
Cantrell
okay.
Brooks.
Oh, okay. I'm so sorry. Go ahead, Mr. Pilon.
You're fine, sir.
Thank you.
So when officers arrived, Judge, they observed multiple knots on the victim's head. Judge, I showed 12 cycles in Georgia, including in 2021 an arrest that for hijacking, robbery, battery, simple assault, and then in 2022 a simple assault and disorderly arrest. So for those reasons, we're asking for a $5,000 surety bond and no further contact, and no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. The victim's name in this case, Judge, is Uriah Ruiz. we attempted contact but didn't get a hold of her.
If Mr. Ruiz is on the line and wishes to address the court, now is your opportunity to do so. Doesn't look like he's with us. Yes, Ms. Sanaflex.
Yes, Judge. Mr. Brooks has been living in Georgia his entire life. His entire family lives here. So he has significant ties to the community. He was doing some CNA training, and he informs me that he is the primary caregiver for his grandmother, who is 80+ years old. We are asking, I'm not sure, I think the prosecution said there was some 2021 history. We don't believe it's with the same individual, but we have no issue with the no further contact. We are asking, based on his financial circumstance right now that he has informed me of, that he's given a signature bond, but if the court is not inclined to give a signature bond, we are asking for no more than a $2,000 good bond.
It'll be a $2,000 good bond, no further contact with Mr. Ruiz, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Brooks.
Position 6, Mr. Chambers.
Madam. That was 2018.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chambers. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Judge, Mr. Chambers is one of the people in the breakout request.
Okay. Courtroom 2, can we go to someone else as Mr. Chambers, and there's been a breakout requested for?
Sorry, Your Honor. Go ahead.
Let's see, Mr. Chambers, there's been a breakout room requested for him. Can we go to someone else for now, please?
2021, November.
You said Mr. Chambers, one of them?
Yes.
Okay. What about Coyle, position 8?
None of those charges. None of those charges.
Okay.
He's not on the list.
Okay. They just gonna get you lost. Coyle, come on. I had the list, and when the internet went out, it took my list, so.
And you want me to give it to you again?
Please, sir. Yes.
That's no problem. It's Beasley, Chambers, Brown, and Bates.
Oh.
Okay, and
Chambers.
okay.
Yes. Thank
All
you.
right, and you're welcome. Mr. Collier, good afternoon. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video? Thank you. You've been charged in case 23 CR 004704Y with battery family violence. Is there a history, Ms. Roberts?
I shot 23 cycles. Last arrest was from May 20th of this year for willful obstruction and simple battery. He appears to have 2 open cases, 23 CR 003220Y. That's for a simple battery, obstructing or hindering person making emergency telephone call. And then 23 CR 003221Y. That's for failure to have license on person and giving false name. I showed 2 FTAs, 2013 North Carolina, 2014 South Carolina. 2006 common law robbery conviction, North Carolina. 2008 assault on a female, North Carolina. 2014 burglary out of South Carolina, and then 2004 assault out of North Carolina. And nothing further.
Thank you. Mr. Pilon?
Yes, Judge. In this matter, officers were called out to a domestic call. They were called by a neighbor who called because the victim's child came to her door reporting that the victim was being beat. So officers immediately observed bruises and cuts on the victim's face as soon as she opened the door. The defendant admitted to drinking, but denied hitting the victim, claimed someone else did it. And judges, it's my understanding that the defendant is being held for pickup by a South Carolina agency. One of the cases that pretrial read out, the 2023 simple battery family violence, that is the same victim. And Judge, I think the lack of history is just from the 2014 conviction where the defendant was incarcerated for 13 years. So for those reasons, Judge, we're asking for a $7,500 surety bond, stay away from the incident address, no further contact. And then, Judge, I'll also highlight that the defendant was ordered to have no violent contact with the victim as a condition of bond of the other 2023 case. So it does not seem that he's apt to comply. The victim's name is Janelle Ricks.
Is there a stay away?
Yes, Judge. The stay away address is 3984 Adamsville Drive, Southwest. It's in Atlanta.
Okay. And that other bond, do you know if it was a signature bond or if it was a good bond?
I don't know that, Judge, but I can find it out while the defense is presenting.
Okay, thank you. I'd appreciate that. Yes, Ms. St. Flex.
Yes, Judge. Mr. Collier believes when I asked him about the South Carolina hold, he believes that is a child support hold that is on him. And so he does believe that that will be resolved pretty fairly quickly. Hopefully they will come and get him for that. He does have family here. He has told me that he's been living in Georgia. I know there are charges from other places, but he's been living in Georgia for over 2 years, or almost 2 years per the conversation I had with him. He's been making deliveries through the Uber Eats program. So he doesn't have much income. That's the only income that he has. We would ask the court to, based on his South Carolina hold, which means that he's not going to get out anyway automatically from Fulton County, grant a signature bond so he can just go to the South Carolina hold. If the court is not inclined, we would ask for no more than a $2,000 good bond.
Okay, it's going to be a $5,000 good bond, no further contact. I'm sorry, Mr. Pilon, were you able to get that bond for me?
I was, Judge, and the previous bond was a $2,000 surety bond.
Okay, and okay, thank you. So
Yes,
it's going to be a $5,000 good bond, no further contact with Ms. Ricks, stay away from the Adamsville Drive address, no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. He'll be on the SAP calendar on August 15th. If you can just make a note, Ms. St. Flex, to who's ever handling that calendar, if we can put all these cases together so that maybe they can possibly handle at one time.
Yes, Judge.
Okay, and I will be handling that calendar on the 15th. So if you will just let whoever handled it for your office remind me, I'd appreciate it.
Yes, Judge.
Thank you. Good luck to you, Mr. Collier.
Position 7, Mr. Chester.
We ready to be in the breakout room with the Spanish interpreter, courtroom 3?
Okay, let's see, who needs to go into the breakout room?
Your Honor, actually, my client, it is mainly for the victim or alleged victim slash complaining witness, and because of the yeah, my client and I already talked in English, and we're okay. We don't have to.
Okay. All right, so do you all want me to handle courtroom 3 first?
I don't want to.
Yeah, we can handle courtroom 3.
Sure.
You want to?
I don't want to make any mistake in anything. So that's
He
why I wouldn't-
wants to be interviewed again, Your Honor. He doesn't want to
I don't
have
want
any mistakes, he's saying.
Okay, that's fine. So let's go ahead and put, and just, Ms. Kim, so he wants to talk with you again. So
Okay,
we'll put, so do I need to put the interpreter in with you, Ms. Kim, or not?
yes,
Okay,
just in
so let's
case if
put,
there was something else.
okay, so let's put courtroom 3, Ms. Kim and Madam Interpreter into a breakout room. And courtroom 2, we'll go back to whoever that was. Was that Mr. Chester?
That is my client, Your Honor.
Oh, that's your client also? Okay, I'm
I
sorry,
believe
Ms. Kim.
so. Yes,
For real?
So Mr. Murphy, good afternoon. Hope you're well.
Good afternoon, Judge.
Let's see, we also have Mr. Murphy here, so we can take one of his client also if need be.
Judge, I was asked by Mr. Howard to appear in case there was a conflict case needed.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Farrell is a conflict. I don't know if Mr. Murphy's had a chance to speak with him. He's also MH, Mr. Murphy.
I have not talked to the inmates. No, I have not. Sorry.
Okay, so can we get Mr. Murphy and Mr. Farrell on the line together, please? Thank you, Mr. Murphy.
Right.
I do have Mr. Elder, who's I think the only person left that's not on the list.
Okay. Hello? I'm sorry, Your Honor. The conflict attorney, she's interviewing. So I'm trying to get them interviewed
I just put it in.
and. So. Let's see.
Judge, I was just informed that Attorney Watson Cafe is the conflict attorney.
I'm
So-
here, Your Honor. I'm
Yeah.
so
Okay, hi. Good afternoon, Ms.
sorry.
Watson Cafe.
Good afternoon.
Half the time, we can't even get a conflict attorney, and now we have 2.
Oh,
Lucky.
Okay, I'm sorry, Mr. Murphy, did you talk to Ramo? Because I haven't talked to that one yet.
I have not talked to him, no.
Farrell and Ramos.
Okay, so maybe Ms. Watson Cafe can do one and Mr. Murphy can do the other.
So I've talked to 2 so far, Your Honor. I have not talked to Mr. Ramos, so if Mr. Murphy wants to take
Yes,
on.
I'll speak
Okay.
to. I'll speak
Thank
to
you.
Mr. Murphy.
Okay, you can call 44 612 2392.
Okay, I'll jump out and make that call now.
All right.
Thank
They're
you, Mr.
waiting on
Murphy.
the phone. All right, let's see. This for me, right? Yes, that's for you. Position 9, I'm gonna get Mr. Elder. Hello. Both. Hello. Sir, you got me on the phone. Just wait by the phone. They're gonna call you, yes. Now, well. Can you see?
Elder?
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, sir. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. You've been charged in case 23 CR 004705G with battery family violence. Is there a history, Ms. Roberts?
I show 15 cycles, last arrest, April of 2023 for FTA. appears to be on probation for aggravated assault in Oconee County from June of this year, 5 years probation. A violation of a family violence order conviction in 2019, a simple assault and criminal trespass conviction from 2016, and another FTA from 2019, and nothing further.
Pilon,
Yes, Judge. Just in addition to that history, I show that there's a 2020 and a 2022 arrest for battery. Judge, in this matter, the victim and the defendant were riding together in the car and ended up having an argument.
There's one of those matters got beat and they dropped.
Mr. Elder, you have a right to remain silent.
Oh,
Anything you
yes, sir,
say-
my bad.
Okay, listen to me though. Anything you say can be used against you, all right? So I don't want you talking during this session, and I certainly don't want you interrupting anyone that's talking, all right? All right, I'm sorry, Mr. Pilon. You
That's
can
fine, sir.
continue.
So the victim and the defendant who lived together were riding together in a vehicle. At some point, the argument turned physical and the defendant began hitting the victim. When the car came to a stop, the victim observed an ambulance, and so she exited the vehicle and ran over to the ambulance. And that's where she was able to contact officers. Just in addition to this, the defendant ended up driving away from the scene, and I received kind of late today photos of damage to the vehicle. So that has not been charged, but I think it's warranted in considering bond. The victim is on the line, Judge. She has stated that she does not want any contact with the defendant, and we would be asking for a stay away order from their home address, which is not the incident location. I apologize, Your Honor. We'd ask for a $4,000 surety bond, stay away, and no further contact.
And the alleged victim's name?
Mariah Bergman. I believe she's on the Zoom under a different name, Judge.
And the stay away address?
The stay away address is 507 Hampton Ridge Road, Norcross, Georgia.
Thank you. Ms. Bergman, if you're on the line and you wish to address the court, now is your opportunity to do so. You, of course, do not have to address the court, but if you wish to address the court, you'll have to activate your camera, unmute yourself, and I'll have to swear you in.
I'm here.
Yes, good afternoon, Ms. Bergman. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay, you can put your hand down. What would you like to tell the court, ma'am?
When I left out of the vehicle, as mentioned, he drove off in my vehicle while intoxicated and wrecked my car about an hour after that, after I escaped the vehicle.
Okay, and it's my understanding that you don't want any further contact with Mr. Elder. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, anything further that you'd like to tell me, ma'am?
That I received injuries to my head. I got bit on my forehead, injuries to my shoulder, severe bruises to my shoulder. And that resulted in me having to be in the ER all night to ensure I didn't have any internal bleeding to my head. And for him to receive the highest bond as possible.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Ms. St. Flex?
Yes, Judge. Mr. Elder did give me a 7101 Hog Mountain Road, Statham, Georgia address that he's able to go to, zip code 30666. He said his mother lives there. Outside of his mother, he does have a sister and grandma who does also live close by. And his other family lives here because he has been living in Georgia pretty much his whole life. So he does have significant ties to the community. He's been working at Tyson Chicken for the past 8 months. And it's my understanding he's been supporting his 5-year-old child who he pays $100 in weekly child support through that job. He did give me the information that he does have a medical condition of a partially torn ACL in his left knee that he's been taking medication for on the outside. So we would just ask the court to consider that. We are asking, he's not able to afford a high bond based on his working right now. He doesn't make much at Tyson Chicken. So we are asking the court for $1,000. I'm sorry, $1,000 surety bond. If the court is not inclined to give a signature bond.
Okay, it's going to be a $4,000 good bond. No further contact with Ms. Bergman. Stay away from the Hampton Ridge Road address, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Elder.
Your attorney will speak to you at a later date, Mr. Elder.
Yes, sir, Mr. Judge. So how do I get my property back? Because my money is at the address. So if I get my phone and all my property,
Ms. St. Flex, he can have a one-time, he can go to that address on one occasion with law enforcement to retrieve any belongings that he might have there.
yes, sir. Am I allowed to have a family member go since I'm currently incarcerated, and then they'll be able to get my money? I can get out. You know? Like
You
what
can
I
have-
have a family member go there and get my stuff, please.
I don't mind if you have a family member go, Mr. Elder, but it's her place of residence, so it will be up to her if she wants to accept that family member. If she does not accept that family member, then you can go with law enforcement at some point in time.
Yes, sir. Or
Okay?
just, I don't have to go over there at all, and she can just drop it off. Can she drop it off at?
Okay. Well, I can't make these arrangements for you.
Yes, sir, I'm just
However,
locked up. Mr.
okay.
Judge.
I understand, but if you all can't work it out, then ultimately you can go with law enforcement, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, you're
What was
welcome. Good
his
luck to you,
bond,
sir.
Your Honor?
It's a $4,000 good bond.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, sometimes I used to, but. Position 19. Ms.
I'm sorry, can we do the interpreter case, please?
Okay, what numbers, who do we have in courtroom 3?
14.
What should I, David? Last name?
Hernandez.
Hernandez, I'm sorry, I don't have a position number. Thank you,
Okay,
14, Your Honor.
all right.
thank you.
Good afternoon, Mr. Hernandez. Bautista, I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state court expedited accusation calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Buenas tardes, señor Daniel Hernández Bautista. Soy el juez Morrow y esta es la lista de causas estatales de trámite rápido y estamos conduciendo esta audiencia a través de video audiencia. ¿Está bien que continuemos su caso así? ¿Está bien que continuemos este caso de esta manera, su caso?
Sí, sí.
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Hernandez Bautista, you've been charged with battery family violence.
Señor Hernández Bautista, usted tiene un cargo por golpes y lesiones, violencia familiar.
Is there a history, Ms. Roberts?
¿Hay antecedentes, señor Roberts?
Yes, 3 cycles. All are for driving without a valid license.
3 ciclos, todos por no manejar sin licencia.
Last arrest was June of 2019, and that one was a conviction.
El último arresto fue en junio del 2019 y terminó con una sentencia.
Tucker?
And further.
Nada más.
Yes, Judge, the state would be recommending a $5,000 good bond with conditions no further contact with the victim Sandra Mendoza Ramirez, as well.
La Fiscalía recomienda una fianza de $5,000 bajo garantía y que no tenga más contacto con la víctima Sandra Mendoza.
As well as a stay away from her current address, which is 1323 Preakness, Preakness Drive in Alpharetta, 30022.
y que se mantenga alejada del domicilio 1323 Rickness Drive en Alpharetta 30022.
The facts allege that this weekend, this defendant struck the victim in the face, leaving a visible mark.
En lo que se declaró es que este fin de semana pasado, el acusado golpeó a la víctima en la cara, dejándole una marca.
Our office did speak with the victim. I'm not sure if she is on, but she did confirm the events in the warrant.
La policía habló con la víctima y quizás esté en la plataforma, pero ella confirmó este evento en la orden de arresto.
As well as said that she is afraid of this defendant when he gets aggressive. Although this is the first time police came, she does say they have a history of him hurting her, but she was always afraid to call the police.
Ella ha declarado que le teme a este acusado cuando se pone agresivo, a pesar que la policía vino por primera vez. Ya hay un historial de violencia entre ellos, pero ella ha temido llamarle a la policía antes.
She did confirm they did live together at this incident location, but not anymore. Which is what that stay away, the new address is.
Ella confirmó que viven juntos en este domicilio, pero no más en la dirección antes mencionada.
And that they don't have any children together.
Y también dijo que no tienen hijos juntos.
And at the appropriate time, if you want to sound for her, if there's anything I didn't share.
Si quiere llamarla a ver si está en la plataforma, por si tiene algo más que decir. Would you like me to do it, sir?
Oh, yeah. All I'm going to say is based on the history that she presented to us, we're asking for that $5,000 good bond with the conditions, no contact and stay away.
Y debido a todas las declaraciones que hizo de su historial, es por eso que pedimos $5,000 de fianza bajo garantía y todas las otras condiciones antes mencionadas. Señora Sandra Mendoza, ¿está en la plataforma? Por favor, prenda su cámara y micrófono. Yeah, I think she is. It says Annette Coronel.
And which one of you is Mendoza Ramirez?
¿Quién es Mendoza Ramírez?
Okay. Can you raise your right hand for me, ma'am?
Levante su mano derecha. Sandra Mendoza.
Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
¿Jura o afirma que la declaración que dará ante este tribunal es la verdad, toda la verdad y nada más que la verdad?
Sí, sí es la verdad.
Yes, I do.
Thank you. What would you like to tell the court?
¿Qué quisiera decirle al juez? Por favor, haga pausas.
Nada más quiero justificar que no ha sido la primera vez que él me pone la mano encima y aparte de los golpes, es como también agresión verbal con muchas palabras.
That is not the first time that he has hit me, and on top of that is also the verbal aggressive way he treats me. Go ahead.
Yeah.
¿Algo más?
Ya digo todo. Es todo.
That's all.
Thank you, ma'am.
Gracias, señor.
Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor. My client is 30 years old, and we have no objection to stay away and no further contact.
Mi cliente tiene 30 años y no tenemos ninguna objeción en no tener más contacto alguno, ni tampoco de mantenerse alejado de la dirección.
He has his own company, which he started about a year ago after working as an electrician for 8 years.
Él tiene su propia compañía que empezó más o menos hace un año después de haber trabajado como en la electricidad por 8 años.
Right now, he has no phone number for anybody around him, no family, no friends. So he really wants to have a signature on bond to get out of the jail. He's also very concerned. Okay, go ahead, please.
Thank you. En este momento, él no tiene un número de teléfono para usar ni a quién llamar a su alrededor, no tiene familia, no tiene amigos, por eso queremos solicitar una fianza bajo firma. En este momento, su inquietud es la siguiente.
He has one dog in his house, and nobody is taking care of the dog because he was arrested.
Él tiene un perro en la casa y nadie lo está cuidando debido a que él fue arrestado.
So he would like to be released and take care of his pet.
Por eso él quisiera que lo pongan en libertad para poder cuidar a su mascota.
That's it, Your Honor.
Eso es todo.
It's going to be a $5,000 signature bond through the jail.
Va a ser una fianza bajo firma, no monetaria, a través de la cárcel de $5,000.
No further contact with Sandra Mendoza Ramirez.
Él no puede tener ningún contacto alguno más con Sandra Mendoza Ramírez.
Stay away from the Preakness Drive address.
Y debe mantenerse alejado de la dirección de Preakness Drive.
No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond.
Y queda prohibido el uso de drogas, alcohol y armas mientras esté bajo fianza.
Mr. Hernandez Batista, let me explain to you exactly what no further contact means.
Señor Hernández Bautista, déjeme explicarle lo que significa exactamente el no tener más contacto alguno.
No contact means absolutely no contact.
No tener contacto quiere decir no tener contacto de ningún tipo.
No personal contact, no phone contact, no internet contact, no social media contact, no contact whatsoever.
Quiere decir no tener contacto personal, no tener contacto por teléfono, no tener contacto por la internet, no tener contacto por los medios sociales, no tener contacto alguno, punto.
If this court finds out that you've been in contact whatsoever with Ms. Mendoza Ramirez, this bond will be revoked.
Si este tribunal se entera que usted ha tenido algún tipo de contacto o ha intentado algún contacto con la señora Mendoza Ramírez, esta sentencia será cancelada.
Good luck to all of you.
Buena suerte a todos ustedes.
Okay, are we gonna need Ms. Chansey for anyone else this afternoon? As always. Thank you, Ms. Chansey. We appreciate you being here this afternoon.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good day.
You too. Who do we have next?
Your Honor, can Joe Court's iPhone and Miss Kim go into a breakout room?
Okay. So if we can put jail court's iPhone and Ms. Kim into the breakout room, please.
Position 19, Ms. Williams, the courtroom 2.
Okay. Good afternoon, Ms. Williams. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. You've been charged in case 23 CR 004691H with theft of service. Is there a history, Ms. Roberts?
Yes, I show 12 cycles. I'm showing 2 driving while license without a valid license conviction in 2013 and 2020. Her last arrest was in August of 2022 for a traffic offense out of Texas. Nothing further. I'm not able to pull up the out-of-state history. I'm not sure if the state had it. Nothing further.
Ms. Tucker?
Yes, Judge, the state would be recommending a $2,000 good bond on the theft of services, as well as a $2,000 good bond on the terroristic threats. You did hear she is a multi-state offender, 8 cycles in Georgia. I have 3 cycles out of Texas, including 1 theft conviction in 2007, as well as the most recent arrest being out of Texas. as well as 2 Florida offenses, including an assault conviction from 2012. So her history paired with these facts give these kind of elevated fines for a theft of services and terroristic threats. The officers were called into this hotel. Excuse me, I believe it was the 12 hotel at, I can give you the address afterwards. So it's the 12 hotel. They said these 2 people, she is co-defendants with Jackson, were staying on a fraudulent credit card. So they went in to investigate. They did see this defendant, Miss Williams, going into a room that was one of the rooms in question. When they spoke with her, she did leave the room. She agreed to leave it. She said that she bought it through someone named Legit. And she knows you pay this guy and he will buy the room for you and you get just a great rate on it. She was at first very helpful to the officers. She was Mirandized and then shared what she knew about Legit. But later, while she was already detained, she kind of, for lack of a better words, snapped, became extremely distressed and aggressive, as the officer described, and threatened to kill Officer Fultz, which ultimately led to her being transported to Grady. So for those reasons, we are asking for the $2,000 good bond on theft of services, as well as $2,000 on terroristic threats, with a stay away from the 12 hotel at 400 West Peachtree Street. And that's a total of $4,000 total.
Yes, Ms. Watson Cafe.
Yeah, Your Honor, we're asking for a signature bond on this. Miss Williams is local. She resides in Decatur. I did get an opportunity, thankfully, to speak to her at length. We vehemently deny these allegations. There are a couple of things I did want to bring to the, in addition to her denying the allegations, and look forward to aggressively fighting these charges. Miss Williams does suffer from several medical issues. We further dispute that she just, quote, snapped. That was an anxiety, my understanding, speaking with her, she had an anxiety attack. She has documented evidence of several medical concerns. She is, as you can see, Your Honor, she's on crutches. She recently suffered I'm so sorry, Your Honor. She recently is a victim of a serious shooting where she was hit 5 times. One of the bullets hit her in her head, which explains some of the neurological challenges that she's suffering. She also has asthma. Prior to this, I had difficulty even speaking with her, not because of a lack of mental ability, but because she had just suffered another seizure. She had suffered 2 since she has been in custody, from my understanding. Through no fault, she has not blamed the jail, but I think there has been some difficulty in getting her seizure medication. Because the jail is not able to sufficiently meet her medical needs, Your Honor, we are asking that she be immediately released so that she can be able to address these medical concerns, in addition to, again, gunshot wound plus other issues that she's having. She does not have the financial wherewithal to make any type of bond, Your Honor. She, because of the recent shooting that she was a victim of, she is no longer employed. She is currently has an application in for Social Security disability. She has 2 minor children that she does take care of. One is a 6-year-old, the other is a stepchild that while the 13-year-old no longer resides with her, she still provides emotional support, but she does care for the 6-year-old. She's the primary caregiver for that 6-year-old. Based on all of these factors, Your Honor, we would respectfully request that she be allowed again to return home so that she can address these medical concerns. Any type of bond, again, that is above the signature bond, is just not going to be within the financial reach of Ms. Williams, that she just does not have any income at this time. She is living in Decatur and kind of on her way out the door as far as that residence is concerned. For all these reasons, again, Your Honor, we are asking for a signature bond.
Okay. It's going to be a $2,000 signature bond through the jail on each count. Makes a total of a $4,000 signature bond through the jail. Stay away from the 12 Hotel on West Peachtree Street. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Ms. Williams.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Before she gets, can I get a phone number? I'll call the courtroom. Never mind.
Position 13, Mr. Harrison.
Good afternoon, Mr. Harrison. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Harrison, you've been charged in case 23 CR 004690G with unlawful conduct during a 911 call, possession of marijuana less than an ounce, and giving false information to law enforcement. Is there a history, Ms. Roberts?
Show 9 cycles. Last arrest was December of 2022 for a probation violation in Muskogee County. Appears to be on probation for aggravated assault in Muskogee County from August of 2019. 3 months confinement, 5 years probation. A 2019 by receiving stolen property conviction, and 3 other probation violations. And nothing further.
Ms. Tucker?
Yes, Judge. In this case, we would be recommending a $1,500 good bond on that false report to a 911, a $500 on the marijuana, and $500 on the giving false info for a total of $2,500 good bond. We do not think this defendant is a good candidate for a signature bond based on that history. You did hear multiple probation violations, as well as this is a case of giving a false report and lying. And I do see in 2017, he was adjudicated delinquent for a financial transactional credit card fraud, as well as he was convicted in 2019 from a theft by receiving stolen property. Both, theft and fraud are also crimes of moral turpitude. And these facts, are alarming. He called 911 saying, I've been hit by a gun. So the cops came out, ambulance came out. That takes a lot of resources to come out and respond to. There were 2 witnesses on the scene who said he came by, said he was shot, but kept running on. And when they finally did speak with him, he was never shot. His name is Julius Harrison. He gave the name Julian Harrelson and the wrong birthday. He gave a birthday of August 25th, 2002. His actual date of birth is August 29th, 2001. So after conducting the investigation, confirming he was the same person who called, that is not his name, not his birthday. He was placed under arrest. During the search, they found under an ounce of marijuana in his shoulder bag. But for these reasons, we're asking for that total of $2,500 good bond.
Who's representing Ms. Watson Cafe?
It's me again. Your Honor, we are asking for a signature bond in this case. We are also vehemently denying the allegations in this incident with respect to who called the police. Mr. Harrison is, my understanding, not the individual that called the police. He is a lifelong resident of Georgia. He has strong ties to the community. He has a GED that he obtained while he was incarcerated in 2020. He attended Frederick Douglass High School. While he doesn't have any kids and he's not married, he does have several family members again in Georgia because he is a lifelong resident. As far as this case is concerned, we would be asking for a signature bond based on his financial condition, in addition to there are also some medical concerns with him as well. My understanding is that he currently cuts hair. He's doing an apprenticeship as a barber. He makes on a good week between $200 and $300 a week. He does about $10 haircuts during the week during this apprenticeship. He is also the primary caregiver for his godmother, who is Shirley her name is Shirley Thomas. I'm sorry. He does everything for her. He helps bathe her, he cooks for her, he does schedules her appointments, make sure that she goes to these appointments. She has been diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease, and Your Honor, as you likely probably know, that is a disease that advances, and she depends on him to make sure that she is, again, that these basic needs are met. There is one other individual that resides at the house other than him, and his godmother is the granddaughter, but she is 19 and she does not offer the same, she's just not the caregiver for his godmother. He has been in jail since Friday on these charges. We would argue that these are not violent charges, that a signature bond would be appropriate under these circumstances. To the extent that Your Honor is not amendable to a signature bond, we would ask for a bond of no more than $500. That would be a total bond. So I can't do the math. 250 per, that's even more. And again, it's just based on his financial reach. He just doesn't have the financial wherewithal to do that.
Okay, for the 911 call, it's going to be a $500 signature bond through the jail. For the marijuana, a $250 signature bond through the jail. For the false information, a $250 signature bond through the jail, makes for a total of a $1,000 signature bond through the jail. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond.
Thank you.
Good luck to you, Mr. Harrison. You're welcome.
And I'm sorry, before I go on, can I have the court, is that courtroom 2? Can I have the phone number for them? I just need to speak to Miss Williams. I just need to get her phone number.
22392.
Can you put it in the chat? I didn't get that. I don't want to hold up Judge Morrow's calendar.
Yes.
I don't mind him repeating it. Can you just give her the phone number again, please?
Yes, 44612-2392.
Thank you. And Your Honor, can I be excused now?
Yes, have a good afternoon, Ms. Watson Cafe.
Thank you.
We appreciate your help. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, where are we now?
We are position 10, Mr. Farrell.
Okay.
I've spoken to him, Judge.
Good afternoon, Mr. Farrell. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Act. Say it again, sir.
Yes, sir. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. Good afternoon, sir. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. You've been charged in case 23 CR 004706A with a simple battery. Is there a history, Ms. Roberts?
I show 26 cycles, last arrest May of 2022 for possession and use of drug-related objects and possession of marijuana less than an ounce.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
I show that as being a conviction, a 2011 conviction for forgery, a 2007 and 2010 CWAC convictions out of Virginia, and then a 2003 assault and battery conviction out of Virginia. And nothing further.
Mr. Pilon?
Yes, Judge. Officers responded to a fight at a gas station. When they broke it up, the defendant told officers that he punched the victim first because the victim sold him a bad crack rock. Further charges from this incident are being handled by the DA's office. It's the only one we're handling. But the victim in this case was also arrested, and he's on felony first appearance. Just the incident location is the gas station, and so I don't think this is unreasonable to ask. We're asking for a $2,000 surety bond, no further contact, and a stay away from that incident location. Judge, the victim is Edwin Green, who, again, because of his incarceration, I don't think he'll be on the call. The location is 479 Joseph E. Boone Boulevard, Northwest in Atlanta.
Thank you. Mr. Murphy?
Judge, my client, born in 1962. He's originally from Virginia. He's indicated he's resided here in the Atlanta area about almost 4 years. Judge, he has no family to go out on a bond. I'd like the court to consider a signature bond. He's familiar with the area. He'll stay away from there. He's got an address of 165 Ivan Allen Jr. Drive, and he'll report as directed, Your Honor. And I've reminded him that he's going to have to stay away from that location. I've also reminded him that if by some, he'll have to change any schedule if he knows this guy, not to go to any place where he might think he might run into him. But Judge, he's got nothing else to fall back on in terms of going out on a bond. He's got no friends or family, he has no spouse. So I'd ask the court to consider a signature bond under the circumstances.
Okay. It's going to be a $5,000 signature bond through the jail. Stay away from the gas station at 479 Joseph E. Boone. No further contact with Edwin Green, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you, Judge. I'll be in touch, Mr. Farrell.
Guy, I don't know. I'm not no Ken. I don't know nothing about the guy.
Okay, so you don't know him, so you shouldn't have any problem staying away, okay?
No problem. I didn't want to get a job.
Okay, all right. I gave you a signature bond. Good luck to you. Make sure you come back to your court date, okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Position 17, Mr. Ramos. Sit down.
Good afternoon, Mr. Ramos. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. You've been charged in case 23 CR 004697E with reckless conduct. Is there a history, Ms. Roberts?
3 cycles, last arrest February of this year for failure to appear, and then a 2019 conviction for DUI and hit and run, and nothing further.
Thank you, Ms. Tucker.
Yes, Judge. State would be recommending a $15,000 good bond in this case, as well as to stay away from the incident location, which is a Chevron located at 1990 Donald Lee Hollowell. These facts allege that the defendant shot out into the air, striking the security guard at the Chevron at the time. Now, the security guard said that he knows this defendant, has spoken with him and believed he was shooting at him. He said they were in a dispute just earlier that day about a paycheck. So I do believe Mr. Ramos works there. And according to the victim, he believed the defendant was shooting at him. Now, the officers arrived on scene, spoke to all the parties, did some investigation. The defendant did admit to the officers to firing the shots, but said he was just shooting them in the air. No shell casings were discovered. And based on the stories, the officers believed that he could not have seen The victim from where he was shooting from. So, without aiming and intending to hit someone, it would not be aggravated assault. So that's why he was charged with reckless conduct. I'm sure additional investigation will be done. Either way, this is at a Chevron on Donald Lee Hollowell. I used to drive every day down that road to get from the courthouse to the jail. That's a public location. Anybody could have been hurt. And in fact, someone was hurt. As well as you heard, he had an FTA just very recently in 2003. So for those reasons, we're asking for $15,000, not $1,500, $15,000 good bond, and to stay away from that Chevron at 1990 Donnelly Hollowell.
You don't want him to have any contact with the alleged victim?
Oh, yes, and no further contact, excuse me, it's Demetrius Pickett.
Thank you. Yes, Mr. Murphy.
Judge, my client has lived here in Atlanta for 14 years. He's got a stable address. He attended college at Shorter College. He has family in the area. He was employed as a security guard. My client denies intending to do anything of the sort that's being alleged. He has ties to the community. He lives at 785 North Elizabeth Place in Atlanta. My client says he had a disagreement with this gentleman, but he denies the facts as they are alleged, and he would ask for a reasonable bond under the circumstances. He does have family in the area. He will stay away from this gentleman and that location pending the outcome of the case.
$8,000 good bond, no further contact with Ms. Pickett. Mr. Pickett, stay away from the Chevron on the Donald Lee Hollowell, at the Donald Lee Hollowell address, no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. If he does have a weapon, he's gonna have, well, he obviously does, he's gonna have to relinquish it, Mr. Murphy.
Your Honor,
Judge,
would you repeat that? You faded out. I didn't hear what you.
$8,000 good bond. Stay
Thank you.
away, no further contact, no drugs, alcohol, weapons, relinquish any weapons.
Okay, Judge. Yes, I believe the weapon is at his house. So we'll facilitate to get that turned into the arresting authorities.
Okay, thank you. Good luck to you, Mr. Ramos.
Thank you, Judge. Mr. Ramos, I'll reach out to your family right now. That's all I have, Judge.
We appreciate your help this afternoon, Mr. Murphy. Always good seeing you.
You too. Thank you, Judge.
Position 7, Mr. Chester.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chester. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state court expedited accusation calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. You've been charged in case 23 CR 0046938 with theft by taking. Is there a history, Ms. Roberts?
There doesn't appear to be.
Okay, Ms. Tucker?
Yes, Judge, we'd be asking for a $2,000 good bond, as well as no further contact with the victims Jasmine Martinez and Rosa Maria Martinez, as well as to stay away from Sky Zone, which is suite 425 at 100A, or maybe it's suite 100A. The address either way is 425-100A Market Boulevard in Roswell. It is the Sky Zone. The facts of this case allege that the purse of Miss Martinez was raided, stolen. It contained numerous debit cards. These are the items that were stolen: numerous debit cards, her driver's license, her Apple Watch, her $400 in cash, as well as her mother, Rosa Maria, had some items in there, and her debit card was stolen as well. Now, these facts are a little tricky. When the officers arrived and they were kind of investigating, this defendant said, oh, I found this, did her purse get robbed? I found this stuff in the bathroom. And he gave them a card, but it still wasn't all of the missing items. He gave, I think, the card and the driver's license. However, so the officer didn't believe he was involved, searched his purse and no other items were found on him. But he did run a clear search on him, found he did have a warrant out of East Point for theft. And so he did take him into custody. As he was doing all of this, the general manager of Sky Zone ran out and said, oh, I found the video footage of the purse being taken. And it clearly showed this defendant, Terrainy Chester, taking the purse, hiding it under his sweater and walking off with it. They tried to retrace his steps to see if he took all the items out of the purse, but ultimately he was seen on footage taking the entire purse, and he had the debit card and the driver's license. Why he involved himself, approached the officer, gave it, is beyond me. But based on all of these, we would ask for that $2,000 good bond with conditions, no further contacts with the victims, and to stay away from the incident location.
Ms. Kemp, he doesn't have a history as such. I'm going to give him a signature bond, a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial. Stay away from the Sky Zone, no further contact with the alleged victims, Martinez, and no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Did you have something, Ms. Roberts?
Yes, he's 17, so he'll need an adult cosigner.
Yes, I spoke
Okay.
to his mother. Her name is Latoya Chester, and I can give the phone number as well. I can chat you. She is willing to co-sign.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. And also let her know she's going to need to bring a utility bill.
I did that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
Yes.
right. All right. Good luck to you, Mr. Chester.
Position 15, Mr. Jackson.
Good afternoon, Mr. Jackson. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Jackson, you've been charged in case 23 CR 004692H with theft of service and willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer. Is there a history, Ms. Roberts?
Yes, he has 12 cycles, last arrest February of this year in Fairburn for DUI and 2 counts of possession of a Schedule I controlled substance. That is an open case, 23 CP 21593. I missed the number, I have to go find that. He has a 2013 conviction with the United States Secret Service for conspiracy to defraud the United States. A probation violation from 2018 from that case. 2015 conviction for simple battery, family violence, reckless conduct, disorderly conduct, and driving while license suspended or revoked. And then a 2012 conviction for driving while license suspended or revoked. And nothing further.
What's the open charge? I'm sorry.
2 counts of possession of a Schedule I controlled substance and DUI.
Okay, thank you. And Ms. Tucker, this is the same facts with Ms. Williams?
They're a little different. So the theft of
Okay.
services is the same, but she was charged with terroristic threats. He is charged with obstruction. He actually was trespassed from the location and left the side of the officers. They didn't arrest him at first. But when they were still there speaking with the co-defendant, they noticed Mr. Jackson at the bar getting food and drink over $300 and putting it on the tab for the room that he was just trespassed out of, and just told that it was a fraudulent card and told, get out of here, all this stuff. So he returned. He also, when he you know, when they approached him, he ran, and it took 2 officers to go chase him down, which is the basis of the obstruction. So for those reasons, we're asking for $2,000 on each charge, good bond, for a total of $4,000, as well as stay away from the 12 hotel, and that was 400 West Peachtree.
Thank you, Ms. Tucker. Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor, my client is 39 years old. He was born in Arizona, but he has been here in Georgia ever since from 1989. So he also has a business as a contractor to do the drywall work. He's been doing that for the last 6 years. He's not qualified for public defender services. Your Honor, my client denies the allegation. He says that he paid for his drink and he doesn't understand why he has to be arrested for the things that he paid for. So we would like to request for signature on bond. Thank you.
I'm going to give him the same that I gave to Ms. Williams. It's going to be a $2,000 signature bond through the jail on each charge, $4,000 signature bond through the jail. Stay away from the 12 hotel on West Peachtree Street, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Jackson.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Position 16, Mr. Lewis.
Good afternoon, Mr. Lewis. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state court expedited accusation calendar that we are conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. You've been charged in case 23 CR 004696J with criminal trespass. Is there a history, Ms. Roberts?
I show 21 cycles. Last arrest was April of 2022 for possession and use of for possession of marijuana less than an ounce. I show a 2011 conviction with the United States Secret Service for uttering counterfeits, obligations, aiding and abetting. A 2007 conviction for purchase, possession, and have a controlled substance. A 2007 conviction for reproduction of recorded material. A traffic offense conviction in 2005, and then a 1999 conviction for theft by receiving stolen property and possession of a controlled substance. And nothing further.
Ms. Tucker?
Yes, Judge, the state's recommending a $1,000 good bond, just based off the risk of reoffense. You did hear he has an extensive history, as well as he has already been criminal trespassed at this location on December 10th, 2022. So he knew he should not be there. So for those reasons, we're asking for that $1,000 good bond, as well as a stay away from the Discount Mall at 2975 Headland Drive. And I believe the criminal trespass warning was for the entire mall. So we would also ask that he stay away from that entire property at that location.
Okay, courtroom, can you unmute, please? Mr. Lewis, you know you can't go back to this Discount Mall, right?
Sure.
All right, so if I let you out, don't go back. Otherwise, they're just gonna put you back in custody again, okay?
I won't, sir.
All right, it's gonna be $1,000 signature bond through the jail. Stay away from the Discount Mall on Headland Drive, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons. Does that suit you, Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, good luck to you, Mr. Lewis. Don't go back there.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Wiley. Position 18, Mr. Wiley.
Good afternoon, Mr. Wiley. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state court expedited accusation calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
No.
Thank you, Mr. Wiley. You've been charged in case 23 CR 004698D with simple battery. Is there a history, Ms. Roberts?
Yes, 20 cycles. Last arrest February of 2023 out of DeKalb County for criminal trespass. 2019 conviction for obstructing or hindering a person making an emergency telephone call. A 2019 conviction for theft by shoplifting. 2018 conviction for theft by shoplifting and criminal trespass. 2017 conviction for 2 counts of disorderly conduct. 2017 conviction for criminal trespass. Possession of marijuana less than an ounce convictions, 2010, 2 in 2012, 1 in 2018. A 2013 conviction for giving false name, criminal trespass, and 2 counts of forgery. And then a given false name in 2009 and an FTA in 2018. And nothing further.
Okay,
Yes,
Ms.
Judge.
Tucker?
Yes, the state would be recommending a $2,500 good bond. These facts allege that at a MARTA station, at the Midtown MARTA station, as he was trying to leave the restroom, the victim was coming up and this defendant just pushed him in his face, pushed him all the way out of the way. Didn't say, excuse me, didn't wait a few seconds for him to pass, pushed him out of the way. We did speak with the victim. He did say he'd be unable to be on the Zoom today, but confirmed, said he doesn't know him. He didn't sustain any physical injuries, but this was shocking. He called the police. He would like no further contact with him. The victim's name is Eric, ERRICK Hawkins, and to stay away from the Midtown MARTA at 41 10th Street, as well as that $2,500 good bond.
Yes, Ms. Kim.
Yes, Your Honor. My client, Mr. Wiley, is 34 years old, and he is staying with his mother, who is 61 years old, and he's taking care of her. Your Honor, he's proud father of one son who is 13 years old. He was working at Walmart up to 2 months ago, but last 2 months he has been unemployed. So he is qualified for public defender services. And Your Honor, his education was up to 9th grade, and he has a serious disability. So because of that, he's having a hard time to work. We would like to request for signature on bond, and because in other countries where there are tons of people who walk by, like New York or big cities, people brush off, and everybody will be arrested for battery charge then. So we would like to request for a signature on bond.
Well, it's my understanding that what are the allegations, Ms. Tucker? I mean, that's one thing to
Pushed
brush
him
up.
in the face to push him out of the way. This was not, oh, whoops, I bumped into you. This was, you're in my way, move it.
I was not able to see the video.
Ms. Tucker, I want there to be a social worker visit for Mr. Wiley, please. I'm going to give him a
Sure.
signature bond. It's going to be a $2,000 signature bond through the jail. Stay away from the Midtown MARTA station. No further contact with Mr. Hawkins. No drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. But I do want him to have a social worker visit for any MH issues
Yes.
that there might be. Okay?
Sure. Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate that. Good luck to you, Mr. Wiley.
Position 8. I guess the rest of them, the breakout session.
Okay, let's see.
Your Honor, may I please clarify one thing? The stay away from MARTA, is it only from that particular Midtown station, right? And then he can go back as long as there's no suspension?
Yes, that was a request, Ms. Tucker?
Yes, that way he does not bump into or push into this victim anymore.
Okay, right. All right, so let's see. Who all needs to go into the breakout room? Ms. Kim, Ms. Tucker, Mr. Pilon, Ms. St. Flex, myself, Ms. Bridgewater.
Okay, Judge.
Thank you.
Judge Morrow, did you have, position 5 in the breakout session? Oh, shit.
I think that was one of them.
Yes, that was one of them.
Okay, we are back, courtroom 2. Who would you like to take first? Courtroom 2, you're on mute.
Position 5, Ms. Brown.
Yes, good afternoon, Ms. Brown. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we are conducting. Good afternoon, ma'am. Is it all right if we do this by video?
Sure.
Okay, you've been charged in case 23 CR 004702F with simple battery and disorderly conduct. Let's see, is there Ms. Nuna on the line? Nunna? Doesn't appear so, Mr. Pilon. Is there anything the state wants to put on the record on this?
No, Judge. I think sounding for the victim is sufficient.
Okay, Ms. Brown, we've had the opportunity to discuss your case with your lawyer and the state in a breakout room. For the simple battery, it's going to be a $1,500 good bond. For the disorderly conduct, it's going to be a $500 good bond, makes for a total of a $2,000 good bond. You're not to have any further contact with Nathishia Nuna, and you're to stay away from 575 Chapel Road. They're going to have someone come out and talk to you, Ms. Brown, and report back to me. Okay, so you're going to have a social worker come out, and they're going to report back to me. And you're to have no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond, ma'am. Okay, good luck to you, Ms. Brown.
What was that total bond, young?
It is a $2,000 good bond, $1,500 for the simple battery and $500 for the disorderly.
All right, thank you. Position 6, Mr. Chambers.
Good afternoon again, Mr. Chambers. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we're doing by video. Is that okay with you?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Chambers, you've been charged in case 23 CR 004703F with disorderly conduct, willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer, simple assault, and criminal trespass. Let's see, is there a Damon Carter on the line? Mr. Carter, Damon Carter? Doesn't appear so. Mr. Pilon, is there anything that state would like to put on the record?
Nothing further from the state, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Chambers, we've also had an opportunity to discuss your case with your lawyer. It's going to be a $250 good bond per charge, which is a total of $1,000 good bond. You're not to go back to that 76 gas station on Northside Drive, and to have no further contact with a Mr. Damon Carter, I believe, who works there. No drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. We're also going to.
I was begging for a job.
Hold on, Mr. Chambers. Hold on, Mr. Chambers. Hold on. I'm going to have someone come speak with you, and they're going to get back with me to discuss your case with me. Okay. Mr. Carter, I see you there. Is there something that you would like? Is this Damon Carter?
Yes, sir, it is.
Okay, we've had the opportunity to discuss Mr. Chambers in a breakout room. But is there anything specific? They've let me know that he's not going to come back to the gas station at 76 gas station on Northside Drive, and he's to have no further contact with you. Okay.
Okay.
Is there something else that you'd like to tell the court?
Me myself, I myself think he should not receive a bond because of the terroristic threats that he has made towards the store, me myself, and the other employees that were here.
Okay, well, he hasn't been charged with terroristic threats, Mr. Carter, and these are misdemeanor offenses, which a bond is granted on. So I have not given him a signature bond, but I have given him a surety bond, and someone else is going to speak with me about his case at a later date. And anytime that he has any further hearings on the matter, you will get notice, and I'll be happy to have you at whatever the next hearing is, okay?
Okay, have any of the videos been submitted, if I may ask?
I don't know. You can talk with the victim advocate who we'll put you in touch with regarding the case, but they will keep you informed as we go forward with all the evidence that they have and keeping you informed. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Anything further, sir?
No, sir. Thank you so much.
All right. You're welcome. You have a good day.
You as well.
Also, thank you. You also, Mr. Chambers. Who do we have next?
You done talking to me, sir?
Yes, sir. I'm done talking with you. Thank you, sir.
Speaking on my behalf.
Mr. Chambers, let me just say you have a right to remain silent, and anything you say can be used against you. I understand that you might want to talk to me, but you have solicitors here, people that are prosecuting you, and quite often people think that they're going to say something that helps their case, and it doesn't. So Ms. St. Flex is going to be in touch with you, and she'll explain what's happening, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Position 2, Mr. Beasley.
Good afternoon, Mr. Beasley. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state court expedited accusation calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Mr. Beasley, you've been charged in case 23 CR 004695E with criminal trespass and willful obstruction of law enforcement officers. You know that you should not be going back to Macy's at Lenox Mall. Do you realize that, sir? Courtroom 2, can you unmute for me, please?
Yeah. I will not be going back, sir.
Okay, don't go back to. I'm going to let you out, Mr. Beasley. I'm going to give you a $2,000 signature bond on both of the charges. So it's going to be a $4,000 signature bond through the jail. Stay away from the Macy's at Lenox Mall, and no drugs, alcohol, weapons while you're out on bond. Okay.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Good luck to you, Mr. Beasley.
All right.
He didn't give you the bond.
Position 1, Mr. Bates.
Mr. Pilon, did you get that alleged victim's name for me?
I did not, Judge. I'm still working on it. I apologize,
Okay.
sir.
All right. That's no, you're fine. Mr. Bates, go ahead.
I was going to say we have not had contact. I don't expect the victim to be on the call.
Okay. All right. Mr. Bates, good afternoon. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. Good afternoon, sir. This is the state court expedited accusation calendar that we're doing by video. Is that okay with you?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Bates, you've been charged in case 23 CR 004701B with discharge of a firearm on or near a public highway or street and reckless conduct. We've also had the opportunity to speak about this case with your lawyer, and the bond's going to be a $2,500 good bond on each charge, which makes for a total of a $5,000 good bond. You're to stay away from the 2221 Hickwell Street and the alleged victim in the case, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. I've instructed your attorney, Mr. Bates, to have your mom get in touch with him, and at your next hearing date, I would like to hear from what they have to say regarding this bond. And if you can't make it, then I may modify it at a later date, but I want to hear more information about it. But at the present time, it's going to be a $5,000 good bond. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. Good luck to you, Mr. Bates.
Judge, can I ask Mr. Bates for the person's name?
Judge, I have victim's name.
You have it?
Yeah, if that's where you're going to St. Flex.
Okay, yes.
The name is Charity Dixon.
So you know you can't have any contact with Charity Dixon, okay, Mr. Bates?
Yes, that's my girlfriend's sister.
Okay, well, you can't have any contact with your girlfriend's sister, all right?
Yes, sir.
All right, good luck to you, Mr. Bates.
Okay, sir, you too.
Thank you. I think that does it.
I'm
Courtroom
sorry,
two.
did you already tell him he couldn't go to the location?
I did the Hickwell Street address.
Okay,
I told him.
okay, thank you.
Yeah. Courtroom two, I think that does it, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you.
Y'all have a blessed day.
You too.
Is it
You're up, Ms.
time?
Bridge- It's time, Ms. Bridgewater.
Okay, here we go. Once again, the reset date for the SAP calendar is August the 15th. Position number 1 is reset to the SAP calendar with a total $5,000 good bond. Position 2 is being reset further notice with a total $4,000 SOB through the jail. Position 3 is going to the SAP calendar with a $4,000 good bond. Position 4, SAP calendar with a $2,000 good bond. Position 5, SAP calendar with a total $2,000 good bond. Position 6, SAP calendar with a total $1,000 good bond. Position 7 is reset further notice with a $2,000 SOB through pretrial, and there is a cosigner, Latoya Chester. Position 8, SAP calendar, $5,000 good bond. Position 9, SAP calendar, $4,000 good bond. Position 10, reset further notice, $5,000 SOB through the jail. Position 11 was null crossed. Position 12, reset further notice with a $3,000 SOB through pretrial per judge. Position 13, reset further notice with a total $1,000 SOB through the jail. 14, reset further notice with a $5,000 SOB through the jail. Position 15, reset further notice with a total $4,000 SOB through the jail. Position 16, reset further notice, $1,000 SOB through the jail. 17 is going to the SAP calendar with a $8,000 good bond. Position 18 is, I got it right here. Position 18 is reset further notice with a $2,000 SOB through the jail. Position 19, reset further notice with a total $4,000 SOB through the jail. And the add-on position is reset further notice with a $2,000 SOB through the jail. Are there any questions, comments, or otherwise? No?
All right, you all have a good rest of your day. I will see some of you tomorrow, I guess.
Indeed.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay.
Okay, take
Thank you.
care, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.